You are looking live.
Here comes the play. Goodman at the free throw line. Jumper.
He broke his ankles. He is Houdini.
Mickey Mantle don't care about you, so why should you care about him? Nobody cares.
That's not a good call. No.
You don't like that call.
I don't like that call.
Woo, 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 woo. Not so fast.
Getting to the Arizona Cardinals this segment, and last week on the show I was in the middle of berating Hollywood Brown for his lack of effort given on blocking, and then I said, oh my goodness, and it was the Zach Ertz trade breaking right in the middle of the segment. So I kind of had some time to look things over. Obviously he didn't play last week because it was after the Thursday night game. Can't play 2 games in 1 week. But the Arizona Cardinals are the only undefeated team left. Kyler Murray, top 10 in passing. He's 8th with over 1,700 yards. The Cardinals are not relying on Kyler Murray's legs. He only has 116 rushing yards this season. Obviously, DeAndre Hopkins is the key target, and A.J. Green and Christian Kirk are solid options as well. And now Zach Ertz, and not to mention Edmonds and Connor are doing a decent job of splitting the run game duties. Zach, the Cardinals, oh my goodness, they are looking like a scary. Yeah.
And, I mean, right in time, too. I mean, we're like, just when I thought, man, this team, even in the offseason, when I heard the people that they were signing, I was like, man, this team's going to be good. And now they're still making additions. I mean, like you said, they got D-Hop, A.J. Green, Christian Kirk to target. They have Kyler Murray, who is playing very well this season. And now you're just adding Zach Ertz to throw to. Man, this Cardinals offense is going to be tough to stop. And
not to mention their defense is improving as well. Budda Baker is one of the best defensive backs in the league. J.J. Watt, we know the story there. And Byron Murphy is also an up-and-coming player as well. This Cardinals team, I got to wonder, I don't know. I think they're Super Bowl contenders. I don't know about you.
I mean, as of right now, there is no doubt in my mind. I expect to see them in the Super Bowl, especially like you know it's going to be good when your team goes up against a team like this week. We were talking about the Texans, and we were saying, oh yeah, we expect them to win, no doubt. That's a note. It's like Bama playing some unranked SEC team. I mean, it's no big deal. It's a pushover. I mean, that's huge, and I really like how this team is looking, man. I think they're a playoff lock no matter what, especially with how they're playing. They are a playoff lock, and I expect to see them in the Super Bowl.
And whenever I look at people and media always throw around Super Bowl contender kind of lightly. There's like any team with a record over 600 or 700.
Yeah.
There's like, oh, they're a Super Bowl contender, and I'm like, whoa, let's pump the brakes there. When I look at a Super Bowl contending team, I look at the team as a whole, and I say, is there anywhere that they can improve? And if I say no, or there's like one or two small things, then I'm like, okay, yeah, no doubt. And for me right now, from the AFC, I think the Ravens need to get better on defense. Yeah. Their offense is all right. They're getting healthier on offense. Their defense needs to be more consistent in order for me to really consider them, because the defense is a big thing for me, for the Ravens. If their defense gets more consistent, then I can start kind of saying, yes, they could contend for Super Bowl. But out of the AFC right now, I've really only got the Bills, and, I mean, prior to last week, I had the Chargers. They got destroyed, so I'm not really so confident in them either. The AFC, I think, is right now, there's a lot of good teams in the AFC, so it's kind of, there's no front row, there's no, like, dominating force. So
especially not after last week when you watched the Titans take care of the Bills. I mean, just when I thought the Bills were the best team, they have the best defense, and their offense is stellar. I mean, they got their defense got tested, and they allowed 34 points. I was actually shocked. Yeah. I would have thought that the Bills were Super Bowl contenders no matter what. Now, did they play good? Yes, they played good, but like against the Titans defense, man, I was shocked that they didn't put up more points.
And yeah, I was about to say, I have the Bills as AFC Super Bowl contenders, But after that game against the Titans, I'm not so sure. And I think you look at the NFC, and there's a much more defining line between who's at the top and who's at the bottom. Where in the AFC, it's much more muddy. It's much more kind of cloudy.
Still trying to work on that.
Yeah. You got, sure, the Ravens, Bills, Chargers are at the top record-wise, but you look at teams in the middle, like the Bengals, Raiders, let's see who else. Everybody else, Chiefs, even you throw them in there, Titans. You throw that, and of course any league's going to have bottom feeders, Jets, Jags, Dolphins, Texans, so on and so forth. But I think there's a much more defining line in the NFC from teams at the top versus the middle than there is in the AFC, where I think any team that is right now 4-3 to the top, which is 5-1, I think any one of those teams has a shot at making a run in the playoffs from the AFC.
Absolutely. All those teams are looking fantastic right now. They're all looking good. And then when they face off against each other, man, it's like that just makes the season so much more exciting when you have teams that are all good enough to be in that playoff spot. I can't wait to see how the AFC comes out. Obviously, like you said, we all kind of know the NFC. We're getting that kind of vibe. I mean, we got the Cardinals, we have the Rams who are playing some fantastic football right now. The Cowboys, so as much as it pains me to say it, they're playing some great football. So we all kind of know exactly like where the NFC is leaning towards. But like you said, the AFC, man, they've got something to prove. They really do.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things shake out. And, like, NFC, you got at the top, like, Cardinals, Rams, Bucks, Cowboys, Packers, no doubt. That's the top right there. The middle, however, is, like, I don't know, the Bears, the Saints, Seahawks, 49ers, I guess, yeah. Vikings. And those are the teams in the middle that have, and record-wise are in the middle. And I look at those teams compared to the top of the pack, and I look at the teams at the top, and I'm saying they go in against those middle teams, and they're going to dominate no matter what. It's very different from the AFC, where I just think I look at the NFC, and we got like 6 teams at the top, and then the rest of the NFC is just, I don't know. There's nothing that really excites me from the rest of the NFC.
Exactly. I was like, when you just started listing the teams, I think all of those division leaders are already kind of like locked up there, because I mean the Packers, they really have no other team in their division.
Exactly.
I mean the Bucks, yeah, this season they really don't. The Bucks really don't have that team in the division. The Cowboys are in the NFC East, so that's not to worry either. So all those teams are kind of like in that like locked position, while like the AFC, man, these divisions are close.
Yeah.
I mean, like we were just talking about earlier, the AFC North. We have the Bengals and Ravens playing each other. This is going to be a big game for the divisional standings.
And don't count out the Steelers and Browns from that division either.
Absolutely not. Yeah, if the Steelers win this week, they will be tied with the Browns.
Well, they're on a bye this week, but next week they could win. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Sorry. If they win next week, which they most likely will. I don't know the exact team that they're playing, but they're playing pretty solid football at the moment. Especially after watching last week, their defense kind of stepped up when they needed to. So, I mean, I can't wait to see it, man. I'm pumped. I can't wait.
Steelers are playing at the Browns next week, so that's another big game for division.
Divisional standing kind of game. Okay.
And I just realized this. I know I said there's a lot of cloudiness from what defines the middle from the top, and it's really only in 2 divisions. The AFC North and the AFC West. You look at the South and the East, the Bills are going to run away with their division. I don't see the Patriots doing anything, and Dolphins and Jets, we all know the story there. And the AFC South, it's really Titans are probably going to run away with that division. Colts have a fighting chance, but I think that they're kind of it's not looking too great. I think they have to win this week at San Francisco. And then of course the Titans and Jags, another kind of okay, throw those teams out. But in the AFC North and West, I think you can make the case for 3 teams from each of those divisions, or possibly even all of them. And in the NFC, there's no conference that's like that.
Yeah, the AFC West was an interesting one too, especially with how the Chargers are playing. They're playing good. The Raiders, they seem to be on and off with their offensive.
Well, they got a
attack.
lot going on.
Yeah. I mean, they they do have a lot going on right now. And it was so eventually when they figured it out, I see them being a good team this year too. And then you can never count out Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. You really can't. So like you said, those three teams all in that one division. That's going to be exciting to see how that ends up being too, especially with how the Chargers got basically embarrassed last week. I wonder how they're going to come out now.
And I was shocked by that game because the Chargers were just absolutely red hot coming into that game. Herbert was looking amazing. And, of course, the supporting cast as well for LA was amazing. And they just run into a buzzsaw against the Ravens.
Exactly.
And out of nowhere, like the Ravens defense gave up 400 yards to Carson Wentz. I thought, oh, my goodness, the Herbert's going to have a field day. And I don't know what happened, but the Ravens defense got it together pretty quickly.
I was very impressed. I mean, Herbert's numbers weren't terrible, but it was that third down defense that I loved, that I was just so pleased to watch. They locked down everything. They were getting pressure on him, forcing him into bad throws to covered receivers, or he would just miss the throw entirely. And I was personally shocked. I thought it would be a shootout. I still expected the Ravens to come out on top, but I expected it to be a high-scoring game, which on the Ravens side it was, but they really shut the Chargers down.
Chargers couldn't really do much of anything. I mean, they even missed the extra point on their only touchdown of the day.
Yeah. I mean, that I kind of forgot that they scored a touchdown and then missed the PAT. Wow, that Chargers kicker, I can't remember his name at the moment, but he's been struggling. So that, and even that day too, like even the whole Chargers offense was struggling. The defense could not stop. Joey Bosa was very quiet that day, could not stop that Ravens run. And I was actually, like you said, you thought the Chargers would be good, so did I. And will they bounce back? Absolutely, I see them bouncing back, but I do not. After watching that game, it's going to be interesting how the future pans out for him.
I'm not sure if he is still the kicker right.
Shut up and sit down.